All right, I'm going to cut straight to the bullshit on today's video. If you are a personal trainer, online coach, fitness coach, in and around that space, and you are being told by other mentors that you need to drop 10K to get their support and help and join their mentorship, then look, you're being lied to. And if I'm completely honest with it, I'm sick of seeing it, sick of hearing it, and sick of getting the messages from people that are being stung by these mentors that are just all about driving the money into their bank. They're not thinking about what you need, what position you're in. And I'm here to help you, support you, understand exactly the route that you can take rather than having to think that that's the way. Seriously, though, I've been in the industry for 15 years and I owned a gym for a decade. I started from scratch after doing boot camps outside, moving indoor, ultimately to get away from the rain. But I turned my business into something that I never thought I would. I then moved online later on down the line and I hit 10K months. I hit them in an obsessive way that I wouldn't teach people to do, but that's simply because I had that number in mind and I was focused on hitting the 10K. I didn't care how I got there. But throughout this whole journey that I've been on throughout this period, I can see the shift that we've had in the industry. I can see the shift we've had in the mentors. And since moving into the mentoring space myself over the last 2 years, I've seen a big shift again. And it's mad to think because in that short space of time versus the time before of, 13 years within the industry, there's been such a difference in the last 2 years. And there's mentors popping up left, right, and center. And if I'm completely honest, when I decided to go into the mentoring side, I had that fear of thinking, shit, am I just going to be another one of these guys? But the more I see that people are driving the same promises where you are going to get, hit 10K in the next 90 days, you're going to get guaranteed 10 leads per week, you're going to be able to move to Bali in 2 weeks' time. That one was a bit extreme. But you get the point. When I've seen all of this stuff, it just starts to wear thin. And it is not the way that you need to be taught. The truth is that it takes a fucking long time to build a business. And it's just like anybody coaching within this space. If you have a client and you're telling them that you're going to promise them this, that, and the other in the next 90 days and it doesn't hit it, they don't hit it, what are they going to think? It's the same thing. But people are falling for this because the mentors are flashing what they've got. And let's be honest, they're flashing all the cars, Bali, freedom, all the stuff that they have got from doing it for a very long time. That doesn't mean that they can get you the same results in 90 days. It just doesn't work like that. And whether it's bursting your bubble or not, I'm telling you that it does not work in that short space of time. Yes, you can get quick wins. But again, look at this in the gym. You can get quick wins with your client. You can get quick wins with yourself. You can drop a stone in 2 weeks. Is it going to stay off? Maybe, maybe not. Like it all depends on the things you do next. But in business, you can't make a quick 10 grand and then expect that to continue to happen every single month. That's not how it works. You need to put the work in, you need to put the reps in, and you need the foundations in place. And don't even get me started on the scripts that you hear all the mentors say. There are no such thing as a script to close in the DMs. I will be completely honest because I like to be transparent for both you and for me. I once was with a mentor that was giving me scripts and I was using them thinking, oh, this is actually really good. It's easy because it's all written out for me. Well, the truth is, people can smell that it's a script and it's not you. Even if you change the way you wrote it, it's still robotic. It's still not an authentic way to talk to people. And the best way to talk to people, guess what, is to speak to them normally. And often when I'm back and forth in a DM with somebody, I'll then do a random video or a random voice note. And it's just to show that I'm real and connect with them. So when it comes to the scripts and what the mentors are trying to say that you can plug into your business and you can use from them, That is not how they got to where they are as well. And this is the problem that people have because there are too many quick win style hacks that actually are not even a thing. They're just what people are telling you they've used so that you get something back from it. And then you think, shit, I want more of that. But it doesn't work like that. You need to put the time in. And then you've got the mentors that are saying they've hit 100K months and they're living in Bali and they've worked 1 hour a day. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Not many people will want to live a life in Bali when they have a family, they have friends. They would not want to be working 1 hour a day, especially in the strength industry, because you got into coaching because you enjoy coaching. If you are wanting to get to the point where you're working 1 hour a day and you're living in Bali and you're hitting 100K months, which let's be honest, we don't know if they are anyway, then you wouldn't be in the business that you are coaching because that's not the same satisfaction. You may as well just own a business and be an entrepreneur because that's possible if you were to do a completely different business. But again, the industry's gone to a certain place where all the mentors are pushing this type of living format and making automations and AI do the business instead of them actually coach, when that is not the answer to scaling a business. You want to have different tiers in your business, like what I teach, which is the access ladder. And you coach some people one to one, you coach some people in group, and you coach some people where they download it and they do it themselves. This is having different access points for people depending on what they need for them to succeed in their journey. It's not about making everything auto, because if you do that, you become disconnected. You're not coaching. And I did this myself where not to the extent of automating everything because that wasn't around back when I was coaching, but I tried to scale my business in a way that made me feel like I was disconnected from them. I didn't benefit from it. They didn't necessarily suffer from it, but they wasn't getting the best version of me. And that's because I'm passionate about coaching. And if you're watching this, you most likely are as well, because you're hanging around, you're in this type of industry, and you're in a place where you want to propel your business to reach more people. The mission is to help more people achieve X goal. It's not just about the money, although yes, we work for money, but it is not the individual single driver that we're working towards. And that is again something that I say so often to the guys that I work with, because it's all right focusing on the money. But look at it like this. It's very much like, and if you're a coach, you'll understand this, especially in the fat loss side. I never forget the type of person that would come to my gym for fat loss. And, she would grab her stomach and say, I want to get rid of this. When somebody is so focused on getting rid of this being the stomach and nothing else is good enough, they don't even realize that their arms are looking better, their legs are looking better, their fitness is better, their energy is better, because they're focused on the stomach. And when you're so focused on that one thing, it will feel like a lifetime before you get there. And that's the same as focusing on money. If you're constantly focused on the money and you're not looking at the rest of the positives, the milestones, and the things that are happening in front of you, then you're going through a journey that you will enjoy less, because it will never feel successful unless you see that thing change, i.e., your bank account go up or your stomach go down. And the fact here is that these types of mentors are not helping you fix your problem. They're just selling you their dream. It's what they did. And you're starting to feel like that is the success. But here's my thought process for you to think about. You need to define what success actually is for you in your life, with your family, with your ambition, your passion, and understand and know what is going to keep you moving forward. Because, like I said before, I stepped away from coaching and started to go mentally downhill because it didn't feel right. And I needed that connection with people. So I found myself resenting my business and not wanting to do the thing that I'd set up. So you have to be clear on what you want and what keeps you passionate in your business. And for most people, it isn't disconnecting from clients. It isn't scaling in a way that you are not coaching anymore. And that's where, again, like, I want to be completely transparent, but when I first started the business coaching side, I used to fear that thought that I would just look the same as everybody else because you just sound like you're teaching the same thing. Using the word freedom, using the word scale. Now, scale does not mean that you become separate from your business. It just means that you have a smart model that enables you to earn more money, serve more people, and not be tied to your laptop. And then when we look at the freedom, it's not working 1 hour a day. It's just having that freedom to be able to, me and Sarah was talking the other day about, we go to every single event or whatever you want to call it that the kids have at school. And that is a freedom for us. That is something that we are very proud of. And I wouldn't say we're lucky to do because we built it, but this is what freedom is to me. And this is what my life is when it's at its best. I'm able to do the things like this. So again, try not to think that freedom is walking the streets of Bali or the beaches and working 1 hour a day as an influencer, because this isn't the place for many of the strength industry type of person. But look, I've been there and I've had multiple mentors over the years. Some have been amazing, some have been shit, some have been some areas that have helped and some that haven't. But that's down to me. It's about me figuring out what I need and what's next. Ultimately, you are in control of everything that is needed in your business. You just sometimes need that guidance to be like, have you thought of this? Or look at it from a different angle. And it's your job to understand the areas that you need to take your business. You don't want to be influenced by people and their lives. You want to be influenced by the future life of you. So again, if you're not clear on the future, what you want, then you will always struggle. You will put the puzzle together and it will just look mismatched. It won't ever fit. And within the industry, there are so many mentors that are driving that attitude of this is the way to be successful. It isn't. And it's your job to call that out for yourself and decide exactly what success is. So you're able to then scale your business to a place that is successful for you and where you want to go. Over the past 6 months, I've had so many people mention so many of the same names within the mentoring space. And look, it's not about calling people out because it's you do you, they do them, I do me, right? We all do what we think is right. But when you repetitively hear the same names that are being called scammers by the people that have paid them, you have to think for some part of it that it could be the client that just isn't doing the thing, which happens often, as we all know, because if you're a coach, you understand that. But as a business owner, you'd like to think that people take more responsibility and take a little bit of a different approach because they actually run a business and they also know what it's like to have clients that are making excuses and not doing the things that they've asked them to do. So the majority of the people that say this and give this feedback, let's say it would be more lean into it's legit rather than not. But you have to take responsibility yourself. You have to think about how you're in control of everything you do daily. If you're not calling yourself out, if you're not surrounding yourself by the right people, if you're not having routines and changing things to make things better for yourself, then you're going to slip down the hill slowly. And before you know it, you're at the bottom. But it's for you to understand what a good mentor looks like and what somebody is just feeding you and making you think that they're taking you down a route that they can't. If somebody is promising you to hit 10K in the next 90 days and you're at 1K per month, let's think about this realistically. Is that going to happen? No. Unless it's OnlyFans, or if you've even got the ability to make that money on OnlyFans. But there are so many people that go down this route and they feel like they are just dumped out on the road in the end, and then it destroys the rest of the industry. But that's why I am super honest, direct, and transparent, because the industry isn't the same with every element. It's more down to the way that people are being guided. And when you start seeing the same stuff often, you start thinking that same way. So you need to be able to see it and then pull yourself away from that type of bullshit that you're seeing. If you're following influencers that are walking the streets of Bali and that's not the life you want, you are doing it to yourself. So you need to be able to recognize it, cut it out, and then lean into the direction that you want to take your life. So look, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, decide what you want your future to look like. This is going to be your North Star. It's the big focus. And when I say this, it's how many hours a day? How many people do you want to coach? How many lives do you want to change, transform? How do you want to be coaching people? Not everybody wants to do one-to-one coaching. I speak to so many people that are doing everything one-to-one, and they admit that it drains them. And if they have a day off, they are absolutely screwed, yet they still do it. And this is partly the stubbornness and comfort that they stay in this position. But the flip side is they just don't know what it looks like to have a different model and live a different lifestyle within the coaching space. But if this is you and you feel like you are constantly doing the same stuff, repeating the same stuff, then have a look at how you run your business. Get it pen to paper, blow it up on a big board, whatever it takes. But write down the steps, and then anything that you are repeating, automate it. Make sure you have a system for it. But if you're an online strength coach or you're a personal trainer, you want to shift into the space, I want you to really think about your place that you're going. So you have your North Star, and then click on the description in the link in the description below, where you can go to my Skool Community for free and you can see the full breakdown in the 6-part mini series of how you can build your personal brand the same way I've built mine and I help others. This is the lean version. So you don't need a big team. You don't need to spend loads on ads. We build your magnetic offer and it takes you through it step by step. So draw the line in the sand now. Stop being stung by the rest of the industry and actually start to take action on your business so that you're able to see the light at the end of the tunnel again. Now, today's video has been pretty different from what I've done before, but I hope you stuck around and got value. If you didn't stick around, you wouldn't have heard me say that. But look, go to the link in the description, get yourself into my Skool community, and I'm in there supporting people one-to-one. But let's crush this together, because there is nobody else that is going to save you other than yourself. Peace out. Speak soon.